Good evening, Spunky Brewster again. And I got my trusty coffee. Yay! Mm. But I kind of left off abruptly this afternoon at the bus stop as the bus pulled up, and I was being spun in circles by my dog because she's a spaz. But I wanted to touch up a little bit more on the leash laws. I'm not, don't get me wrong. I would love to be able for my dogs to walk next to me with no problems. But you never know. You never know what that dog is like. And I'm not saying that, leaving your dog off leash is a problem. There are dog parks, there are dog beaches, there are specific places designed to allow your dog to walk free. And that's what they're there for. But in a neighborhood, especially in a neighborhood that has multiple school bus stops on it, there's, I know, at least 5 bus stops on our little stretch of road alone, and a lot of those are elementary school bus stops. A couple of them are middle school bus stops, but most of them are kindergarten to 5th graders. These are young little kids that say, "Oh, look, puppy, I want to go pet the puppy, I want to go pet the puppy, mommy, I want to pet the puppy," and go running up to it, and then they get bit because the dog's running loose. Or you have a couple like Phone Jones's son, who has a fear of dogs and actually gets scared. And, if this dog is running loose, little dog, big dog, medium dog, Chihuahua dog, it does not matter. If it runs up on a boy who or a girl who is afraid, that could traumatize a child. And children don't get over that kind of trauma very easily. I have a sister who was bit by a dog when she was 6, 7 years old, running off leash, no owners to be seen. She got bit on her arm, had to have stitches, and I mean, she's now 25 years old and still afraid of dogs she doesn't know. And I don't want that for the neighborhood kids. And it's your responsibility as a dog owner to make sure that you are in control of your dog at all times, because dogs can't get put in jail. Dogs can't be brought up on charges. That's you, that's the homeowner, that's the animal owner that is liable for that animal and anything and everything that they do. I have a 4-foot chain link fence. I have two 50 to 70 pound husky malamutes. And I know full well, given the chance, they could hop easily over those 4-foot fences. So they are leashed at all times. They leave this house, they have a leash on, even within the fence, and I have tie out lines that are attached to a concrete block buried in the ground. It's 400-pound test that I attach to their harnesses to give them the ability to run around the yard to where I'm not attached to them. They can play in the pool, play in the sprinkler, but I took that responsibility. Sorry about that. It was just a quick pause, real quick, as I had a partial blowing moment and forgot I had the oven heating up for dinner. Oops. So I had to run and put dinner in the oven real quick, set a timer, all that motherly, wifely jazz. When's my shift over again? No, I'm just kidding. But back to the whole dog scene. Even when they're on their tie outs and they're running around playing in the pools, I'm still in full control over them. I'm out there with them. I'm sitting in my chair. I have my phone. I have my book, whatever I have to keep me occupied. Or I'm throwing balls and they're fetching. And, and I'm not saying that my entire neighborhood is horrible with the leash laws, but there's one lady that has this little Jack Russell, that's always out in the yard running around. Granted, he listens really well. He has a great recall, but there's this one guy, has a little Staffordshire, a little terrier puppy, and he always gets out of the yard. Well, come to find out, this yard isn't fully enclosed, and it's like a ranch style fence with, the 2 posts and the 2 cross posts, and, where a Great Dane could get through this fence. But then it's also not completely enclosed. So there's like a 5 foot area of no fencing, and the dog just, who needs to go through the fence when you can go around the fence? Yeah, and and this dog's always out, and Phone Jones doesn't like dogs. Well, it's not that she doesn't like them. I think it's trust issues with her, and I keep trying to get her to pet mine, but no, it'll eat me. It'll lick you. That's what my dogs will do. They will lick you. You will drown in saliva before they bite. But I respect it. I keep, if I have my dogs with me, I keep them at a distance. But she has a fear of it. Her younger son has a fear of it, and this dog kept getting out and running to the bus stop and running up to other dogs, and I can't tell you how many times I caught this dog by his collar and returned him to his home, saying, "Hey, he got out." But then I noticed that but then I saw something that I shouldn't have seen. I didn't want to see, because I realized it was the irresponsibility of the owner, not the dog. And because this dog got out, I saw him come up underneath the fence, and I saw the owner go over and try and recall him. Now, mind you, this is like an 8-month-old puppy. He's not going to have the greatest of recalls. And then as he wouldn't listen and wouldn't listen and wouldn't listen, I saw this guy just whatever and turn around and walk back in his house. And I'm watching this dog. I'm like, are you kidding me? He's running out into traffic. He's running around all over the place. So, I go over there and I was like, there's leash laws. I was like, you need to have him on a leash. Well, he got off his leash. Well, then you need to go get him. He's going to hurt somebody, he's going to bite somebody, or he's going to get hurt himself. And I don't want to, because I don't believe in it, but if I need to call animal control and have him picked up for his own safety, I will. It's like, I don't want to do that. I want to give everybody a chance to be responsible for the responsibilities they have taken on. It's like, you adopted this poor puppy or bought him, I don't know. And you took on the responsibility, so be responsible. You have children. You already know what the responsibility of taking care of a young, squirmy, disobedient, small thing, entails. So much like your toddler that you already raised, that's what your puppy is. And your puppy is going to be said toddler until they are about 7 years old. And you need to be responsible. The good thing about it is, and I don't know if maybe I got to him or maybe he's like, okay, that makes sense. I haven't seen this dog since. But it just, the reason it was on my mind is I was walking Cleo earlier, and I didn't want people to think that, I think everybody, who doesn't leash their dog is irresponsible. I don't want, that's not how I think. It's just a matter of, know your laws. Know your neighborhood. If you have a nice, quiet, older neighborhood where there's not a lot of children, okay. And your neighbors don't mind the dog running around, that's one thing. But mind your neighborhood. If you got a bunch of school-aged children, kindergarten to 5th grade, that's a bunch of lawsuits, waiting to happen. And that's your dog on a euthanasia list. And I don't want to see that happen to any puppy. I love dogs. And so I just wanted to clarify where I stand on the leash laws. If you have the land to let your dog run free, by all means. But be responsible with your pets. Just as you're responsible with your children, be responsible with your 4-legged children. You adopted them, you took on the care for them, and that's the way it should be. So, that's that. This is Spunky Brewster and her Evening Brew signing off. Have a great night, YT. Love you. Mwah.